This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I'm doing this video as another video where I know I'm going to be able to simplify this enough for you to share it with your friends and your family to at least raise their eyebrows, to make them think and question some things that are going on. I'm going to show them through the constant mainstream narratives, the same repetition that's being used to push all of these major New World Order agendas. So listen to this video, share this video. I promise you it'll be informative. Now, repetition, I've said a million times, is the key to mind control. For those of you who don't understand what that means, think about when you hear a song in the car, right? And then the song's stuck in your head for days and days. You don't even like the song and you find yourself singing it in the shower. That's because you're hearing the song over and over and over. A lot of people actually don't like a song when they first hear it. It's the repetition that makes them like the song because they're actually under a form of mind control. That's why you might catch a guy who's a metalhead singing a Backstreet Boys song in the shower or humming it to himself, and he'll say, "Why is this crap in my head?" Well, it's because you probably heard it 50 times in the radio. You heard it in the background while you're grocery shopping, while you're at the dentist's office, right? That's how mind control works. And it all starts with your brain, obviously, right? Think of your brain as a computer pad. Or just think of it as an empty computer, I should say, not a pad. A computer, right? It comes to your house, you open it up, and there's nothing on that computer yet. But you start putting information on the computer, you start downloading your music, you start putting whatever things you put on there, pictures of yourself and your family, and other things that you might watch or do or whatever have on their work documents, etc., etc. The human brain, when you're born, is just like an empty computer showing up at your house. And this is the reason that they want to get us all into schools at a young age, while the brain is still developing, because young children are absorbing this information. Whatever information is given to them, they absorb. Right? And that's why it is so important to get these children to the elite, at least to the Illuminati, the New World Order, to get children into the school system fast so that they can program their brains. What happens from there is they begin programming their brains with a history of lies. All the things that they tell us are not true. We live in a world of lies. That is what life inside of the Matrix is like. From history to the stuff that we're told that's important in, English class, to science class, dissecting frogs and chemistry, all stuff that's worthless to you in the future. But they want to indoctrinate you with this stuff. And as I get into the agenda, such as the feminist movement, this is one of the reasons why the feminist movement is so important. Because by brainwashing women and trying to empower them, what it does is it gets the woman to try to compete with the man, thus telling a woman that being a mother is not an important job, that being a mother means nothing, that a woman should go earn, a man should go earn. Because this is how they get their hands on the children. This is how they brainwash the children, and this is why we live in a world of walking, talking zombies. This is why when you go to school, and I'm sure everybody listening to this at one point in your life, you said to yourself, what is the point of this, right? Didn't we learn this already? These sound like familiar quotes. For those of you who are still, in school listening, right? You're like, didn't we learn this in 7th grade, and 8th grade, 9th grade? Oh, well, this year, instead of learning geometry, you're going to learn algebra or whatever, right? Trig. Oh, okay, so it's a little bit different, but it's the same stuff, right? Same with English class. Oh, we're going to read this book instead of that book, but then we're going to talk about this guy and, the same thing. Shakespeare, the same, Freemason elites that they love to shove down everyone's throat, right? And then inside of this system, the people who are rewarded are the ones who buy into the repetition, the ones who are doing their best and getting their best grades because they've been programmed enough to get the best grades because they're buying into the system. And then they're rewarded with better schooling, better jobs. And really what happens is when a lot of these kids, who have high GPAs, who buy into this, who, I want to work so hard and get high grades and think that that's what life's all about, learning the most lies they possibly can to get the highest GPA. And then they go off to these universities, and a lot of times they'll be recruited at these universities, Ivy League schools, like I've said a million times. Not just bloodline members are part of these secret societies. They recruit people who have high, they believe have high IQs, high GPAs, and are people who are going to follow along because they've already processed that these people are followers, not leaders, because they haven't questioned the system that they've been put in. They've embraced it, and they've gone further above to continue to brainwash themselves into embracing it, getting their bachelor's to master's to et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, we're all victims of this. I graduated college. I went through this stuff because I was told I had to do it, but it didn't mean I didn't question it the whole time and say it's a bunch of crap. Didn't mean that I didn't try to scam my way around some of the stuff going on in college and the school system because I knew it was just a total waste of my time and my energy. And eventually, obviously, it led to my awakening, but I knew something was wrong, right? We've all gone through this. So don't feel like if you're going through it that there's something wrong with you or you're stupid, because this is the system they've set up so that you can go achieve the paper money that they print at the top of the pyramid, okay? So the repetition is the key. Now, for those of you who go, well, I don't really know if I buy into this repetition, and you don't believe in how, all the stuff in schools are lies and all that stuff, let's talk about the main agendas that the mainstream media pushes today. Let's start with feminism, right? What they have to do is, in all of these music videos and all of these shows, is empower women, make women victims, right? The Me Too movement. This is all seed planting for women to strive to become executives and all this stuff, to make them feel as if being a mother is not a job, right? Oh, the nanny can watch the kid, or, oh, we'll put the kid in a daycare center so the kid could possibly be trafficked or something like that, or we'll put the kid here, we'll put the kid there. Now, this isn't saying that women shouldn't work and have jobs. Of course not. I'm talking about the feminist movement. If you're married and, you guys, as a couple, you need more income to take care of your family, obviously, okay, that's fine. But feminism and a woman working and doing certain things is not one and the same, okay? It is their goal to push the feminist movement to get children raised by the system, right? Because what is missing from the system? God is missing from the system. Values are missing from the system. Family. Okay? Now, the feminist movement, for those of you who don't believe it's something that they're trying to brainwash everyone with, let's just take a look at some of the stuff that's going on casually in the media and look at the repetition being done. From Ocean's 8, right? They've taken the Ocean's 11 movies, now turned Ocean's 8 with an all-female cast, empowering females. To Ghostbusters with an all-female cast. To the bringing back of television shows like Roseanne and Murphy Brown, which are about empowered women. Now, Murphy Brown more so than Roseanne, but there's a reason that they're bringing these shows back. To movies like Mom's Night Out and Rough Night and Bad Moms Christmas. These are movies about women acting as men, right? Women deciding that, oh, they're going to get drunk and they're going to go out and party and they're going to go out and hook up. And I'm not saying condoning that being right for men either, right? They've poisoned men into living that lifestyle. Now they want to poison women into doing it. But this is a way to empower women into, hey, it's Friday night. Instead of having a family night, let's go out. Let's get crazy, right? Movie after movie after movie with an all-female cast compared to an all-male cast, right? Which is exactly what they want. And the feminist movement with the Me Too movement making women look like victims. This is getting more and more women to not only despise men, but to want to achieve more inside of the system. And that's what they want. They want you to almost climb the stairs like the Masonic staircase inside of the system. So that, oh, here, you can make more money. Here, we'll dangle some carrots over here. Meanwhile, give us your kid if you have it. And if you don't have a kid, you don't want to have a kid, right? That's another way for them to depopulate. Okay? But if you do have a kid, listen, mom's going to be an executive, dad's going to be an executive, and the child, well, he's ours. And we're going to raise him with fake history of the wars of the world and who were behind it. We're not going to educate them on the Rockefellers. We're not going to educate them on how to farm, how to take care of themselves, how to take care of their bodies. No, we're going to raise them and educate them on nonsense and bullcrap and lies. And then after enough years of conditioning, they're going to defend this same system because this system is all they know. So when people like A Call for an Uprising or others go after them or ask them to question what's going on, or they hear us speak, they get defensive and defend the system because that's all they know is the indoctrination of lies. That's it. It's almost like telling them the world they live in doesn't exist. They don't want to hear it. They protect the system. They're protective of it. So you see the feminist movement all over the place. Another one that I constantly talk about is the LGBT, from the homosexual agenda to the trans agenda. Now, this is in no way, shape, or form hate speech. I'd like to make that clear and put a disclaimer in there because every time I expose these things, I get strikes because they don't want this exposed because they don't want you to believe that mind control is real. But they've strategically placed gay characters in television shows now for 60, 70 years, right? Whether you knew the character was gay or not. Now, obviously, since Ellen, who gets shoved down our throat, they make sure that Ellen has her own show, that Ellen's always in the spotlight, right? For a reason. Because they want you to accept, because the mindset of Satanism and the occult is do without will. Okay? They want you to do everything they can to defile the Bible, to defile God's word, and to get everybody to have the same mindset of do without will. Because that is the satanic mindset, and it comes in the name of love. It comes in the name of tolerance and acceptance. And that's why there's shows with Ellen, right? Modern Family, gay character. Will and Grace, gay character. Reality shows like Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. Any of those reality shows, whether it's Project Runway or one of those shows where a woman's buying a wedding dress or America's Next Top Model, right? Gay character, gay character, gay character. Or you can go down the list to The Real World. The television show The Real World always have to have a gay character on cast. This is just to bring acceptance through repetition so that 50 years ago, this stuff would not be normal. People wouldn't be accepting of this. And this isn't bashing anybody who is gay, okay? This isn't wishing hate or harm on them. And I mean that seriously. I don't wish hate or harm on them. But you see a huge rise in the last 20 years and how many people, it's almost like every other person you see or meet is gay. And that's because of the mind control. It's not because all of a sudden people are brave to come out of the closet. It's because of the repetition and the indoctrinating with these characters. They make these characters funny. They sexualize these characters. This is all part of repetition and mind control. And they do it in cartoons as well. We saw Beauty and the Beast, right? They rolled out the gay character in the new Beauty and the Beast movie, Gaston or somebody or his friend, right? To movies like Stork, Sausage Party. You know, the list goes on as they start implanting these characters in cartoons so that children automatically think that this is normal behavior and it's normal. Right, when in fact it is a form of mind control. And then you can look at the trans agenda, which is never, this is picked up beyond words right now, right? It's like, 10 years ago, this would have been insane. And now it's like, if you speak again, they want to, suddenly, if they can't pee in the bathroom they want to pee in, you're a hateful person and all this stuff, and everybody's on board. But look at all the seeds that have been done with the trans agenda from almost every person in Hollywood cross-dressing, whether it's on Saturday Night Live and it's The Rock or Derek Jeter, to movies like White Chicks, to TV shows like Vanderpump Rules, which every season constantly pushes, the Pride Parade. The guys are always cross-dressing, right? Because these guys are being paid to push a narrative, to push an agenda. They're all on board. They know what the goal, this is what they do at Bohemian Grove for people who wonder. What is Bohemian Grove? What do they do at these freak meetings? Yeah. Do they perform all these sexual deviant acts? Yeah. Do they probably perform ritual killings? Yeah. But the goal of it isn't to just go up there and kill and perform, because they do this stuff on a routine basis, according to the Satanic Calendar and all these other dates and moons and full moons and blood moons and all that stuff. But they go up there and they socialize. They have meetings about what the agendas are going to be. And it gets pushed down. The people, if you saw the people who went to Bohemian Grove or Bilderberg, you would be like, I don't know who any of these people are. Where's Obama? Where's Trump? Where are the big names? They don't need to be there because it's the editors. It's the producers of these shows. Or the guys who are at the top, the COOs of networks like Bravo, etc. They get the orders. Okay, this is what you got to push this in each show, right? Push the LGBT. And they find a way to fit it in. They give the orders down to the producer. They tell them, okay, we're going to do an episode that focuses on pride. We're going to do an episode where the guys cross-dress. And that's why all these shows have the same thing going on, because they're giving you the repetition, because they know that the acceptance starts to come through the repetition. You got movies like Tu Wong Fu. I remember in the 80s, movies like Just One of the Boys, Ladybugs, subliminally doing it, right? Boy dressing as girl, girl dressing as boy. It's all there. And you see it now, too, with movies that are about civil war, because that's another agenda they push, right? They push blacks versus whites, liberals versus conservatives, right? Civil war. They have, Captain America, Civil War. These Avenger movies are constantly talking about this inner civil war. The Purge movies, right? Purge movies are a perfect example of what they want. This stuff is all planted there. All of the shows. You'll be hard-pressed to find one that doesn't have these agendas in it or these characters pushing this in it. Whether the character, the character doesn't have to be on the show going, everybody should be gay and this and that. No, it's having the character there, the acceptance of it, the normalizing of it through repetition. And that's why it's there. So share this video. It's as simple as it gets. It's as easy as it is to figure out. From all the stuff that people talk about, and I get the importance of talking about everything. I try to talk about every topic that I possibly can. Okay, there's people who talk about so many different things. But it all starts with the human mind. Everything starts with your mind. Everything. Okay? Before the poisoning and the food, the fluoride and all stuff, it starts with your brain. Because once you unlock that, once you realize that your brain has been programmed to see stuff that doesn't exist, and then you realize the stuff that, I talk about, the colors, the symbols, all that stuff right in front of our faces, them showing it to you almost like they're a gang. does exist, but your brain's been trained not to see it, to shut it off, to be in an alpha state, a sleep state. So once you unlock your mind, once you turn that key and you start realizing this stuff and you put your pride aside, because if you're someone listening and you're not awake yet, put your pride aside. Nobody cares if you have a master's and all that stuff. Oh, you're going to look back and go, well, I wasted 30 years of my life. Well, join the club. We all wasted many years of our lives, right? In the school system, believing in nonsense, striving for things that we couldn't achieve because it's all a controlled system, and then realizing that these things are worthless anyway. We've all been there. So put your pride aside, okay? And just realize that it's a waste. I'm not saying, oh, someone who's a doctor, they don't serve a purpose, or someone who does this doesn't serve a purpose. Of course they do. People have trades who are good at certain things, and there's people who, go to school for, communications, for, getting their masters in that, and it's like, okay, well, there's not really what's coming out of that. I don't know, or your marketing and stuff like that. But if you just set your pride aside and realize that we've all been duped, and then it all starts with the most basic form, which is repetition, which is why they get us at a young age in the schools. Like I said earlier, they beat it into our head, just like a song on the radio, right? Repeat. And then you get to a certain age where your brain is already fully developed, and that's why they stop schooling at that certain age, because your brain's developed. It's processed all the bull crap. It's taken it all in. And they know from this point on, it's going to be hard to deprogram you. But you can deprogram yourself. You can. You have to put your pride aside, your ego aside, and understand that this stuff is real. And especially it goes for people listening who might be gay or might be trans, or women out there listening. I'm not against any women, not even close. But you have to realize that they're playing off of your emotion as a woman with the feminist movement. They're playing off your emotion as a gay person, and they're trying to make you push it onto other people and empower people, when in fact you've been deceived. You're the one who's been deceived through this mind control. So remember that. I hope this was informative for you. I wish I could have used video clips, but I can't. It takes forever to get them even in the video to upload. They block it over and over. So I figured I would just try to speak as clearly as I can to get the message and the point across. I hope you found this informative. I thank you all for listening to today's show. Share this video with people, and hopefully it'll help wake them up too. God bless all of you and your families.